Why Adeptus Mechanicus? Why not? They're awesome! I mean, I love this army. I love everything about this army. The only thing I don't love is when I'm facing a lot of psychers. That get a little tricky sometimes, but other than that, I love this army. Why did I choose Adeptus Mechanicus? AdMech for short. Well, for two main reasons. Number one, they are really fun to play. They have they're sick things about their army that you won't really find much in other armies. The thing about AdMech is, if you take away all their buffs and all their special abilities, they are a pathetically weak army. But once you start putting in all their buffs, all their abilities, all their advantages to their gameplay, they could be a force to be reckoned with. When you could cause your basic 9-point model to have a saving throw of a Terminator, that's delicious. The second thing I love about the Adeptus Mechanicus is that I wanted to do a sick paint job. The sick paint job that I wanted to do on these guys, I did here, and they look beautiful. With Space Marines, to me they're pretty plain. They're armor. They're just covered in armor. I mean, very good for someone who's just starting out painting, in my opinion. That's a good army for painting, but these guys were a challenge. They have lots of little pieces. They got cords, they got skulls, they got little guns, they got pokey things everywhere that break off if you move them wrong. They were a real challenge to paint, but my gosh, they came out beautifully. And we'll show some close-ups of these guys later. But they are really fun to paint. If you like a challenge, this is the army to do it. And when you're done, and you can look at it and say, dang, that looks sick. You've accomplished something. And that's why I chose this army. It's fun to play and it's fun to paint. Some of the playing styles that I've used with this army, I've mainly done two main army types. I've done really heavy shooting with Mars, the Forge World of Mars. Mars is really good, where you could add both the Mechanicals and the Doctrine Imperative, which give these guys even more buffs. Even your basic guys, usually you have to split up, okay, my Skitarii models get these buffs, the rest of the army gets these buffs. But with Mars, you can combine them both on your Skitarii guys, which is going to probably make up most of your army. They can get more buffs to do even more abilities. What I say about that 2+ saving throw, you could do that several different ways. They get a 2+ saving throw. As well, I have these Rangers right here. There are stratagems which allow them to get up to, so you have 20 guys, 1, 2, 3. You can get up to 80 shots with one unit. Strength 4, -1 AP. Boom! That could wipe out almost any unit on the board. Even Terminators with their heavy armor, even with a 2+ save. With 80 shots, you're bound to get a few ones. As you can see, I have lots of robots. The other army type I like to play is Forge World Lucius. You don't get all those buffs you can with Mars, but they have a relic that is really awesome, which allows me to teleport a core unit from one side of the board to another side of the board in the same turn. And a nice thing about AdMech is their buffs. Well, there's an ability that one of these guys has that you can stand next to these guys and give them the core ability. So you are teleporting these giant robots, which when they get into combat, annihilate everything. I have yet to have a full unit of these guys charge into a unit and not destroy every single model. They are that powerful. And when you teleport those suckers into the enemy's back line, it messes their stratagem up. As you can see in my centerpiece right here, I got this Imperial Knight. I played with him in a few games and he is pretty fun to play because he just goes out there and everyone's scared of him. They see this big, beautifully painted model coming at their front lines. They just shower him with bullets and he could soak them up while the rest of my army goes hee 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 hee, boom. Again, I love these guys. They've gone through a lot of rule changes over the years, especially this last year. I don't know if you've paid attention, but in 2021 and 2022, it was Adeptus Mechanicus that has won LVO. Same guy, a little bit different armies, but Adeptus Mechanicus both years. And it's partially because of that they have been given a lot of hate and a lot of rule changes. Many of those rule changes have been rolled back, but they have gone through a lot of abuse this past year. And even despite that abuse, they are still a contender. A lot of those rules have been rolled back now, and they are even more of a contender. I played a match against a buddy of mine with the new rule changes. He's been cleaning my clocks every time I face him, but I went against him with those new rules. Boom, I annihilated him. Furthermore, I will show you eventually in another video the army I'm going to take to LVO. It's all set, I think. I'm just finishing up the last couple models I want to paint and put in there, and it'll be all painted, ready to go. Again, I put a lot of love into the paint job. This model alone took almost 2 months to paint. Even the little guys, a whole unit of those guys could take up a week or two of my time. And let me tell you, I have quite a bit of time in the evenings. I live in Idaho, in the middle of nowhere. I have a lot of time to kill. So I either play or I paint. So yeah, this is my army. I love them. I love to play them. I also play orcs, and maybe I'll make an orc video here sometime when I get a few more models painted. But these are my pride and joy right here. Thanks for watching 3 Sides of the Cube. We appreciate you watching these videos. We'd love to make more videos, and the more likes and subscriptions you take, but hitting that like button right there will allow us to make more of these videos that you love and improve our quality of videos, better armies, better videos, better sounds. It'll be great. Hit that like button.